Yeah.
Okay, back again with another episode of The Crossover with your hosts, Ravi and Brian. We're off for a little while here trying to get the schedules right, but we're back again. Kind of consider this our NBA Finals preview. We have two dance partners ready to go. The Bay Area and back down and from the Midwest, Cleveland. So, Ravi, man, what's your take on the finals? How you see it, man?
Hey, man, from an NBA perspective, you know they're loving this matchup.
Oh yeah,
because you got the reigning king and you got the up and coming team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, team with the best record in the league. You know, I I don't think the league was hoping for Houston or Memphis to get to the finals. I'll be quite honest. You know, but I think this is a matchup they wanted to see. And now it's money time, man. It's money time. This is what the season comes down to right now. So I'm looking forward to this, and I think, we've spoken offline, and I think Golden State is going to take this in 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be surprised if they do it in 5 games.
Right.
I just think they have too many weapons, and I think these guys are on a mission right now, man. I think their team is, it's top to bottom, top offensive team. We've kind of gone over this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, top offensive team in the league, top defensive team in the league. And, you know, there are so many ways they can hurt you, you know, down the stretch.
Well, I'll stick with my pick that I had for my pool in this case, and that was Cavaliers in 6. That was when Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving were still walking. So I'll stick with it just for that, so for a principle standpoint. I think this will be a more competitive series than people think. One, because there's a guy named LeBron James on the other side. But I also think, no one's talking about this too much, is that the size and physicality of the Cleveland front court. Look, this, with all due respect, true, Memphis in this case, Memphis is big, but I don't know if Memphis is, everyone thinks Memphis is big and physical. You know, Randolph is still physical, but I don't see Marc Gasol as really this big pounding type of individual in this case. And Golden State, you know, they had AD in the first round with Ryan Anderson. It's like, this front court is a little different than anything they've seen. And even Dwight is like, yeah, Dwight can be kind of opposing when he's ready. But after you get past that, you got Terrence Jones and, Josh Smith was playing power forward, really? I'm looking here at Mozgov and Tristan Thompson. Them boys just big. Okay, that size is going to be an issue somewhere in this series, I feel. The rebounding, Thompson is a beast and someone you have to game plan for. And I don't see anybody. The one person that might give him a little bit of trouble would be Draymond Green. Problem is, he might be playing LeBron James. So who's guarding him? Not Bogut's dealing with him. Because he got Ham Mozgov.
Yeah, I hear that, but I think that, this is Thompson's third year in the league?
Third, I think.
Third year in the league. And, now he's under the brightest of lights right now. So, the way he's performed thus far, let's see if that carries over into the finals.
Yeah, but I would say 2 things against that point. One, the job he does is instinctive. You don't have to think about it. There's ball, go get ball. Ain't nothing to think about with that. If anything, nervous energy might actually help you better in that sense. He's rebounding. He just go at the ball. The only thing that could hurt him is that he gets too aggressive, he gets in foul trouble. But to your other point, last time I checked, there ain't a soul on Golden State to even smell the finals. And then walk on the court that said NBA Finals on it. No, so if you're doing it with Tristan Thompson,
that's definitely true on both ends. But
what about the other Thompson? What about the other Thompson if you're worried about that? Because he seems to be a little come see, come saw sometimes in these playoffs. So I'd be more worried.
He has been. I think you're definitely right there. He's been streaky throughout the playoffs. He hasn't been as the same as he was throughout the regular season, as consistent throughout these playoffs. But I think also that I think I just read, was it yesterday, he's been cleared to play for Game 1, which is good news.
That's good news. Yep.
You want to see both teams at full strength going into it.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to see that. But let's get to the man of the hour, number 23. Now let's recap, if you will, his performance in these playoffs thus far for the people.
For the people, I would say in this case, here's the scary part with LeBron. He's the only individual I know that can average almost a triple-double in a series against Atlanta. And yet, somehow, in the radio discussions and the TV discussions, they say, well, it's not one of his best performances because he didn't shoot that well. I'm like, he's averaged 33 points, I think 11 rebounds, and almost 10 assists. And they're saying, well, he's not shooting well. It's like, folks, is this statistically? This is where the analytic guys just rub me the wrong way sometimes. I work with analytics. I got nothing issue with analytics. I've said that before. Got nothing wrong with analytics guys doing their thing. But dudes, sometimes, man, the proof is just in the pudding. You don't need to be squeezing out every little metric out. Well, his metrics weren't as good last year. But has he gotten you back to the dance again? Yes. Has he gotten you back to dance with less to work with to some extent? At least the start of the playoffs. Yes.
No.
Start of the playoffs. I'm not saying the final.
What was that?
The start of the playoffs. When he started, that team was not as well seasoned as Miami's team last year starting the playoffs. When Miami went into the playoffs, they were pretty healthy when they started.
They were pretty healthy.
Yes.
They were pretty healthy.
At that point, Kyrie Irving was already limping about a little bit, not much. And then Kevin Love by Game 4 was done. And they pretty much had gone essentially.
Kevin Love was out the first series, the first round. I mean, Kyrie he's already limpy. He's had some, a couple of good games against Chicago, though.
Right, he did. But, for strangely, Miami, for once, actually heading into the finals was in good shape. Because usually Miami in the finals, usually Wade's already limping around somewhere. But he waited to do it in the finals this time. That's when the limping began. So from that standpoint, I know where you're coming from. I'm just talking about when we started the playoffs, and even just starting the first round, he was in better shape with Miami at that time last year. I mean, heck, they were having a walk in the park against Charlotte. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. But I think too the emergence of J.R. Smith, who's been a lot more consistent than I thought he would have been in these playoffs.
Wow.
I mean, Smith has been a lot more consistent in these playoffs than I thought he would have been. Minus the 2-game suspension that he had there, but true. Since he got back, man, he's been a big contributor on that team as well. So let's not overlook that.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I think actually Cleveland has some nice talent on their team. I'm not saying they're and I heard some statistic again today, the 8th worst team ever to be in the finals, because I guess the metrics for the entire year of the team. But what they're not taking into the account is this team that we're seeing here didn't play the entire season together.
No, they haven't.
So you're talking about 40 games of essentially half the season, or 39, and it's when they're 19 and 20 before that trade happened, or 20 and 20 whenever the trade happened. You're essentially talking about half the season they didn't play together. So their metrics will look poor overall if we're talking about the whole season. Cleveland's getting beat by everybody and their cousin the first month of the season. So all I'm saying is that people, numbers and the metrics are great, but let's look inside that. Let's look at the bigger picture. And as far as LeBron goes, his numbers looking like how they were last year. Last year is all Mr. Efficiency, left, right, and center. That's fine and dandy. Obviously, he did not win because in this case, a lot, and this is another thing too, driving me. These guys and their numbers, they love the numbers what suits them in this case here. But supposedly, Kawhi Leonard stopped them last year. Oh, I'm sorry, he was averaging almost a triple-double in the finals. But yeah, he stopped them. Right. That's like you dudes tell me that Magic got stopped by Scottie Pippen. Right. When Magic's almost averaging 20, 10, and 10. But hey, Pippen was stopping it. Right.
Hey, well, I mean, it's no coincidence that when they put Pippen on Magic there, I mean, he made life tough for Magic. That was it.
Go online, folks. You search up yourself. If I find the link, I'll put it myself. And they give the myth of the Pippen stopping Magic. And if you look at it, when you look truly at the numbers, Pippen didn't do squat to Magic. Funny enough, Magic's scenario was very similar to LeBron's scenario, where once again the supporting cast was dropping like flies during the same finals. Byron Scott started first. Worthy was first. Then Scott. Then it had, I think E.C. Green. No, Sam Perkins was gone. By the time he was done, he had a rookie called Vlade Divac at the time, and a bunch of dudes up to now. You can't even tell me who the rest of the starting five were. Okay, that's pretty much what LeBron ended up getting as well too. A limp Wade, and a bunch of dudes that no one knew of. That's about it. It's just him and Bosh for the most part. That's it. My point though is this: that just like last year, numbers get affected. My point is this: numbers get affected by who's around you. So when you're looking at the efficiency of LeBron and you're saying, oh, he's not shooting as well. Well, to your point, when you're facilitating everything, everyone's focused on you. There's no Kyrie out there to take the thing off where you could do stuff, or even go back to Miami last year, you could do back cuts because someone's looking at Wade or Bosch. There's nothing like that. So everything's on you. And everyone says, well, it was like that. His efficiency was way better back when he's in 07. Fine. Defenses have changed. They're more sophisticated than they were even 6 years ago. So folks are going to figure out your tendencies and know what you want to do. At that time, people didn't really know what LeBron's tendencies were. People weren't playing LeBron a certain way. So I get it. His numbers aren't fantastic. Part of it is age possibly as well, too. He's played a ton of minutes. It is what it is. But all I know is he's got his team back in the dance. I think in this case here, it just proves this case, not only is he one of the best players ever, best players in the league, he's one of the best players ever. Because he's one of the few players, I think, ever, I can literally put on any team in the league, and that team could possibly be in the conference finals of any at East or West. Put him on Sacramento right now, and that team right now might be in the Western Conference Finals. Just take their small forward out of the way. Take Rudy Gay out and put him on there. Put him on there with Cousins.
Well, there's definitely no arguing that fact. But here's the part where the part of that point where, you know, I think the bar has been lowered so much these days when it comes to these types of conversations, because we give you all the credit in the world for getting there. 5 straight NBA Finals that's an amazing accomplishment to get there, but getting there is not the ultimate goal.
No.
And so it's like, you know, we can't just crown guys for getting to the dance.
No one's crowning anybody for anything. LeBron James is a 2-time champion.
No, I mean, he's a two-time champion. I'm not discrediting that, but like I said, there's been a lot of talk. You know, LeBron's gone to the finals 5 straight years. Hey, we give you all the credit in the world for getting there 5 straight years, but I mean, what is he? 2 for 6? 2
and 3.
Okay.
2 and 3. And I will pose to you folks in there, kid, to throw that number out there. Because let's face it, we're talking here, I'm speaking possibly more about heart than brain. But we know in this case here, the NBA Finals, probably more than any other championship there on the planet, is more chalk than any championship going. More than college basketball, college football, the Super Bowl, you name it, the Stanley Cup. Pretty much the 1 and 2 seed gets in every year. And for the most part, if you're the favorite going in the finals, I would say 95% of the time in NBA history, you're the ones coming out with the O'Brien trophy. Okay? So, that means it doesn't bode well for LeBron in this case. He'd probably go 2 and 4. Numbers in history tell you that will probably be the case. But I don't look at it as that, because my mindset is this. How many times has LeBron James actually bit, which is rare in this case, but I think in this case you have to put it on the GMs or something. When's the last time you seen, the only time I would put anything on LeBron and say, you know what, you got to own that, son, is Dallas. That's the only time. Every other time he's not been the favorite when he's lost. He had no chance against the Spurs the first time. None. Last year, Spurs were the favorite. You know, people thought it was a more competitive series, but they were the favorite.
I mean, he got credit when he beat the Spurs the first time.
But they were favorites. Miami was the favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's my point. That's my point. He's the favorite. When you're going as the favorite, you're likely going to win.
Okay, so let's say for argument's sake, Golden State happens to win this finals.
That means what I'm saying is that if he goes in 6 times, I would say arguably 3 times he was going in as the favorite, and only once he blew it, which is Dallas. He was a favorite in Dallas. He blew that. He got to own that. Now, most things in life in this case might work out that he even out. When one of these times he's the underdog, he might win. I'm not saying it will be this time. It may be this time. But that's the thing. It usually does work its way out, and he'll win one where no one expected to win one. But my point is, unlike some of the times in the past, you take Larry Bird, who's people think one of the greatest players ever. He is one of the greatest players ever. I think Larry Bird was what, 500? 3 and 3, 3 and 4. He won 3.
Around there.
He lost one against Houston. He lost a couple to Magic, so at least he's 3 and 3 that I can recall.
Yeah, no, I mean Magic is 5 and 4.
Right. Okay, 3 right, and here's Magic 5 and 4. So he's 3 and 3, I think, in this case here. I think in this case, from Bird's standpoint, he probably was favorites in 3 of them, which he won. And 3 he wasn't, he lost. More times than not. And I'm not taking nothing away in this case for Mr. Jordan and stuff like that. But pretty much every time, bet you look, Chicago was probably favorites in every single time they went in. And that's nothing to do with anything else. More power to you. You put yourself in that position, I ain't supposed to say that. All I'm saying is that the favorite usually comes out on top. Regardless of the situation, the favorite comes out on top. And all I'm saying is, if you got the team that's got the better team and you have a top player, because Curry in this case here is not LeBron. I'm not saying that. But because of the depth that you mentioned, it evens out things. If he had like a top player in this case and the supporting cast was okay, then it comes down to who stars better. I'll take LeBron. But because he's got that extra backup and his whole crew in this case here, which is better than Cleveland's crew, it evens things up, or if not surpassed in this case, the opportunities that LeBron has with his team. I personally think, this is just me off topic here, I personally think that people have done a disservice to LeBron from a GM standpoint in his career. I think it's a malpractice. That includes Riley. Malpractice, what they've done with LeBron. Because in this case, GMs get lazy with LeBron. Okay? So,
well, I think that's true with the exception of this year.
I think this is probably, I would agree that this is probably the best year as a GM that I think LeBron's had in his entire career. And I said people might be shocked with Riley. It's like, yeah.
I'm not even trying to sugarcoat it. I mean, LeBron is the GM.
Ironically, LeBron, if you go if you go your theory that LeBron's a GM, that would make a lot of sense.
Let's face it, J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert would not have been there unless LeBron had okayed that deal.
Well,
Kevin Love, Andrew Wiggins would not be in Minnesota unless LeBron pulled that trigger.
Well, if you heard the story of Brian Windhorst, when Mozgov came in, he was just coming back from his 2-week sabbatical, and he was kind of in a funk, and he saw Mozgov come out, he just slouched on a pole, he looked up and was like, whoa, because what he got so excited about was like, my gosh, here's a dude that's actually a legitimate 7 feet. I was like, what a shot. We have 7-footers. We have centers. It's like, here we go. Like, that's like, when LeBron's thing is done, when it's all said and done, that's going to be the unwritten story as far as I'm concerned. How, and to your point, this is probably the reason why he wanted to go at the Cleveland from the power standpoint. People think it's, he wants his boys to hang out. Nah. It wasn't about that. It was about, listen, I'm trying to save my career to play longer, and I'm not playing power forward. That's the reason why you see him all slimming down. I'm not going through that anymore to save someone else's bacon. So, Dwayne Wade could be sipping Mai Tais, in this case, on a beach, while I'm sitting here playing 40 minutes and playing power forward. That ain't happening. Or center some night. I saw him in Utah, playing against Utah in Miami, playing Al Jefferson in the post for about a good quarter. He's like, no. He's like, I'm done with that. Sorry, Pat Riley. You've gotten off on the good foot for a while here, getting away, a roster change and playing on the cheap for me to play 2-3 positions to cover your butt. Same thing that goes with Cleveland. It's like, we'll just get a bunch of stiffs and like Boobie Gibson and them. We don't put no real money in that. And say, hey, we keep our money, but we're gonna give you Wally Zerbiak as a second option. That should be good.
Well, I mean, like I said, I totally agree with you up until this year.
No,
I think you're absolutely right. With regards to the GMs, doing him a disservice throughout his career. But I think this year that is not.
Well, no, I agree. But the thing is, what's kind of muted it in this case, the injuries, because they're at full strength. Because people forget, everyone think about Love or just Irving hobbling around. You forgot Vergel's out for the season.
Yeah.
Now you put those 3 players on the team now and see if this is still Golden State. People think winning, gentlemen sweep and all sorts of stuff like that. That'd be a whole different ball game. So if you look at the full complement of the team there, then it's like, we're now pretty much playing even at this point here. And then to your point, that's the reason why I think LeBron wants the power. Because he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not taking discounts for you guys. And I'm not playing 3 positions playing center when you guys are holding back money so Mickey Arison can sit on one of his Carnival ships all day long. That ain't happening.
Well, no, I mean, I think all that stuff's in the past now. I mean, now it's he has the team and the players that he wanted around him. For the most part. I mean, no one knew that Love was going to go down.
Yeah, no one knew that things were going to give an arm bar in this case and take him out for a series.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think from some of the reports I read, I think Kyrie's relatively healty.
Yeah,
I haven't heard too much on the injury front from him.
It'll be good. I would hope Kyrie is close to 90 to 90%. He's not going to be 100%, but a 90% Kyrie is more than enough to kind of get them through, I think, if they want, The only problem is on the defensive end. Because Kyrie healthy is still already bad enough. And that's their problem. Thompson, to me, in this case, Tristan Thompson, is Golden State's issue to deal with. LeBron's LeBron. I mean, he can get his, but to me, that's their other person to game plan. On Golden State side, To me is like from the Cleveland side, they deal with Golden State. The issue to me is who's guarding Steph Curry, because Kyrie can't do it. He can't do it. Even healthy, he can't do it. So to me, it's like, do they move him off and play him at Harrison Barnes, and then have Shumpert play him, or and let LeBron deal with Thompson? That to me, that seems to be the play. That'll probably be at play, because I can't see him running around curls and screen. That does not work. Not happening. Yeah. So and what would be interesting to see is what they'd done if, say, Kyle Korver was healthy, and see how they would play Irving if he played Game 4 with Kyle Korver healthy. That would give you an insight of what they would likely do with Golden State.
Yeah.
And I suspect they will probably put him on. They'll probably put him on DeMar Carroll. That's what I suspect. So I think Harrison Barnes. So then it comes to the decision, if they do that. Does Steve Kerr say, I'm going to run my offense through Harrison Barnes? That's the decision's got to be made. So, I don't know. So, you like 6 for Golden State. I like 6 for Cleveland, man. So, I think it's going to be a fun series, man. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a really fun series, man. I think you're going to see some record-breaking stuff going on. I don't know. What's the over-under? How many times, that Sonya Curry gets shown?
Yeah, I mean, they need to just stick to the basketball at this point. Like, let's just get off that. I mean, it's a guy's mom, for crying out loud. Let's just stop the nonsense.
Hey, Chicago.
But hey, Golden State, please leave your children at home. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them at the press conference.
Oh, you're such a grouch. You're such a Scrooge.
It is not. It's a place of business. If you win the championship, hey, bring your kids up, bring your wife up, bring whoever you want up.
Yes, Mr. Stuffy, Mr. Ty. Yes. It's a place of business. Yes, Windhorse.
All this. You know what? I don't usually agree with Windhorse, but when he said that, I had to stand up and give a round of the slow clap.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Round of applause for that one.
Because all you two be on that branch together.
What's that?
All you two be on that ledge together.
Hey man, it's funny because when he said it, a lot more, columnists and reporters were saying the same thing. No one wants to say it.
Listen, man, no one cares about the post-game conference, man. Give me a break.
You see that's what. Okay, so if no one cares about it, why are they doing it then?
Why? Because media wants something to do, and the NBA just wants to post and say, "Hey, there's our stars out there." Are they saying? Has anything come out of post-game conference? The only thing that came out of a post-game conference I can think of that was actually interesting is when Paul George threw Steven under the bus. That's the only thing that came out interesting. But
now, here's the thing. Regardless of if anything good comes out of it, the fact is you have to do it. It's the same thing. I feel the same way about the in-game interviews with the coaches.
Oh, I agree with that too. I don't care about that.
I think those are pointless, but the point is, I mean, if you have to do it, as of right now, you have to do it.
Right, but no one's stopping him from answering the questions. Big deal if his kids there. No one listens to those things, man. It's make work. It is. You know it is.
It's part of the process, and me. You can't have kids.
All right, Mr. Corporate.
The game, man.
All right, Mr. Corporate. Yeah. Okay, moving on, man. Jeez. You don't love the kids, man. Anyhow, man.
Hey, man, I love the kids, but the time and place. Oh, and we live in this emo-type environment these days where it's ridiculous.
Whatever. I will move to the next topic, man. I totally disagree with you and Windhorse, but hey, we'll move on. Because if it's every time, fine. If it's once a blue moon, what big whoop-de-doo, man. Whoop-de-doo. Like, it was like if Steph Curry says something that poignant, it's like, boy, can't wait to hear the insightful things that Steph's got to say today. Oh, boy, can't wait.
You see, I laugh when people, especially when players don't respect the media, but yet the media, because of media coverage, that's a big part of their paycheck.
What? Well, the media
money, the media deal is a big part of their paychecks.
Well, who, the players?
Yeah.
No.
Of course it is.
No, it's not.
Of course it is.
No, it's not. How?
All these TV deals that are being signed right now, these big deals that are going on, every team is getting a cut of that, and that's trickling down to these guys.
That's got nothing to do with the media. What that got to do with is you and I paying $100 to go and watch the Raptors or anyone else play, or sit there on TV, the 25 million watching, and see if we could buy some razors or buy a beer or buy some new computer when they sell the advertising dollars. That's all that comes down to. Got nothing to do with me.
There's definitely that aspect of it, but what I'm saying to you is the fact that these big TV deals, they include all the post-game stuff. They include the stuff with them interviewing the coaches during games. They include, like, there's numerous parts that this TV deal includes. So when people don't say, I don't want to talk to the media, you know what? The media is paying a big portion of your salary as well too. So if you don't want to talk to the media, if you don't want to talk to the media, then give back some of that money.
No. You back up. You back up for a second, because they got nothing to do with it. Because let me tell you something. The only thing saving the media in this case you're talking about, and cable companies in this case here, is sports. Because the only thing someone's sitting down in their house to watch for 2.5 hours. No one's watching anything else. No one's sitting there, boy, let me put on my TV tonight. They can't wait to watch the episode of Scandal or Game of Thrones. Folks, PVR it, watching it online, bootlegging it. Like, no one's sitting down there watching that. So the only properties that make money is sports. And the reason why is because you and I are actually going to sit our butts down for 2.5 hours to watch it. That's it. Ain't got nothing to do with Brian Windhorst or any of these dudes. All they're doing that stuff for is to make content. That's all that's for. So they can clip little videos and put it on NBA.com and on ESPN.com. That's it. No one's, that's all. This is for make work. This is have more content to spread around. But no one's sitting around there saying, boy, I can't wait to hear what the stuff. Like, there's nothing insightful that could be said in a locker room.
It's not about that, man. What it's about is the fact that the players, that media money that the league is getting, that trickles down to the players. Some of that, not all of it, a portion of that trickles down to the players.
Right, but what you're saying is that somehow, in this case, the guys that are creating the post-game conference is what's triggering the money. No, what's triggering the money for these costs in this case is that the media guys, in this case ESPN, know if they lose the rights, they don't have anything in that they have a vacuum they can't make up for it, because they know Fox is going to take it from them. That's what's making up the money, is how valuable the property is.
But regardless who takes it, I mean, regardless of who gets that contract, some of that money that these players are getting, it's coming from the media. So for them to just blow off the media as a whole, I disagree with that.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Fair enough. We'll move ahead. We'll move on, man. We're way over, but that had to get flushed out a bit. Okay, quick thoughts. Houston, Atlanta, out. What's your thoughts on how things went down?
Man, I think let's start with Houston. I think Harden again has shown in big moments. It's he just doesn't show up. I mean, I think it goes back to 2011 finals. That he was a no-show in that one. And then if you 2012 finals, my bad there. But if you go back,
even last year,
exactly.
The Portland series, he was a no-show for half of it.
He was a no-show for that one. I think the only thing that really saved him is that 45-point game that he had.
No.
This series,
I will not say that, because those first two games that were in Oakland, he played outstanding. Everybody remembers how he turned over the ball in game 2, but people forget he had like 38 in that game or something. No. I will rip on him when I need to rip on him, but I'll give him his due. He had some great games in the playoffs. I'm not saying he had great games. My whole thing with Harden is, I find with Harden, he's not a guy that when things go bad early, he can turn it around. I find when he's one of them dudes, you see this a lot in tennis. There's certain guys that are front runner guys, right? Like, certain guys, when a match starts, they're looking good. Andy Roddick's a perfect example. Man, if he's got the aces booming and he's just moving through, man, he's good as gold. The more a little bump in the road happens, like, he starts off a little rough, pretty much you could turn off the lights for the most part. It's all she wrote. He's one of them type of dudes like that, where if the going gets tough early on, he's out. He's looking at the club. He's out for the whole game. They take LeBron, I think the closing game, ironically, the same situation is that 0 for 10 starting off in game 3 or game 4, or 0 for 10 or 0 for 11. There's a difference between two, right? 0 for 10, 0 for 11. LeBron can be sulky and stuff like that. Still ended up with 30-some-odd points was all said and done. Found a way to win, ugly as heck. When he shot to 35% was all said and done. But he was able to fight his way back into the game. And the great players do that. And I find with Harden, when it isn't going right, he misses like 6, 7 in a row, he starts sulking, and putting his head down. The defense starts to wane, which isn't that hard for him in this case for that to do. And then it's like, pretty much you might as well sit beside Kevin McHale because you're useless at this point.
Yeah.
That's why I find with him. Like, if it's going and it's cooking, boy, he's stirring the pot. He's stirring the pot. But
well, he got that curse going for him for stirring that pot.
Jeez, don't start. You're really trying to push my buttons tonight. You know, don't start with that nonsense. That will not be on this podcast. Not now, not ever. Okay. Anyhow, moving on. You curse me down to it. Anyhow, let's move on. What about Atlanta, man? What do you think they got to do, man? They're hard to judge, I feel, because the injuries started.
Yeah, I mean, they were very disappointing. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. I was not. I mean, I think after the first game, I was like, how's this gonna go down?
Well,
and when they dropped that second game, as I think pretty much everyone thought it was a wrap, but. I think it was an overall disappointing performance for them in the conference finals. But, I mean, I think they can make some tweaks coming back next year. But, I think it goes back, like, this whole winning by committee as a team type of thing is all well and good. But I think in the NBA, more so than any other league, like, the Spurs aside, you need that one guy.
Yeah, by the way, the Spurs have like a Hall of Famer. It's going to be one of the 10 best players ever. Just by the way, like, they ain't so much a team either.
Yeah, exactly.
They have an all-star point guard that's going to be a Hall of Famer too. Like, people say, "Oh, everyone do the Spurs." I get the Spurs with these bunch of little scruffs just hanging down the street. Like, really? Like, really? It's like, hello? One of the best six men ever? Like, hello, yeah. These little scrubs down the street that just happen to be playing the team. Like, right. Give me that way. I always kill myself when I hear people. No, I may try to rip on you, Ravi, but I hear it all the time. I heard it today on podcast. I'm like, no, the Spurs and Atlanta are not the same thing. The Spurs and everybody else that play this style are not the same thing. Okay? They want the best 10 players that arguably ever played the game. Arguably the best power forward played the game, okay? And one of the best point guards of his generation. It's not like some dude just have to walk up and say, "Hey, who's got next?" Like, what the heck? Like, come on, let's slow that down with that Spurs talk. Oh, good Lord. Hey, Spurs got stars too, folks. I know they're not pretend they don't have stars, they got stars. They got stars. I know when San Antonio need a bucket, I know where that ball's going. Let's put it that way. I know where it's going. It's going one or two places. Okay, I don't have to worry about where it's going. It's a pick and roll, high screen or pick and roll, or get dumped in the block. I know where it's going. There's a big difference.
There's a big difference.
I mean, God bless Atlanta. Let's put it this way with Atlanta, man. I mean, the injuries is one thing, but them boys look like deers in the headlight from game one. Kyle Korver, I'm still looking for him in a milk carton, even after he got hurt, man. I can't find him anywhere. I'm looking for him in my child's box right now. I can't find him anywhere, man. From the beginning of the playoffs with Brooklyn, I couldn't find him, guys. It's like, so, people want to talk about the injuries at Atlanta. There's some things that we saw in the playoffs that were going on before they got to Cleveland. Teague with his up and down play, very similar situation to some extent, where his mindset is like, dude, you're the one dude who could kind of potentially take over. You just gotta stop being Mr. Nice Guy, like just jack up. That means you gotta jack up 30 and be Allen Iverson like that night. So be it. And sometimes you just gotta do that in the playoffs. It ain't pretty. Just get it done. Get her done. And I find I think that to your point, this whole system of sharing the ball, this is where it kind of messes up your head. Because at some point you gotta say, gotta take off the emergency brake, guys. It's all she wrote, man. I'm just going for broke.
Yeah.
Let me create offense for you by making myself as a bigger threat. And I don't think Teague ever figured that out throughout the whole playoffs.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Anyways, man, we're way over. We've been off for a little while, but it was a lively one when we came back.
Yeah.
Once again, this guy, the media thing. Anyways, let's not start that again. Ravi, where can the good folks find you so you can talk to them about the media and stuff like that?
Find me on social media.
Oh, really? Players can use that to get their message out without the media? Okay.
At Mr. Ravi _4BA. I'm not getting a contract by anybody, so
not yet. Okay, and you can find me at Beyond Locker Room, short form RM. It's good to be back, as they say. we'll be back during the middle of this, probably the middle of this finals, to discuss where things are at, man. We'll see. Anyhow, man, everyone be safe. We'll talk to you next time, man. Peace.